Okay, so this plant right here, Solanum americanum, this is native to the southeastern United States. It might grow further west. Its native range is a little uncertain, but it's roughly native to the southeastern United States, as well as other tropical areas and subtropical areas in the Americas. For example, Mexico, many South American countries, the Caribbean, but it also grows as far north as like Florida. It might grow in like Texas. It also grows in like Georgia, Alabama, just, you know, in the more southern, more subtropical or warm temperate areas of the United States. But yeah, it's a really interesting plant. It's in the family Solanaceae. It makes these little tiny berries that look like little tomatoes. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Here we go. It looks like little tomatoes because it's related to tomatoes. It has 5 little kind of leaf things on the calyx, so just like a tomato does and many other species of nightshade do in this family Solanaceae. And these are annual plants, so they come up from seed every year and not the same root, but they're very good at reseeding themselves. They make many little seeds inside these berries when they ripen, and when these berries ripen, they'll be slightly bigger than this, just barely, and they'll turn black, but they'll still be very shiny, so they'll kind of look like little black tomatoes. Some sources say they're edible, some say they're not. I don't really know, but yeah, it's a pretty cool plant, native to the southern United States. Here's the little flowers. Oops. Here's little flowers. That's what they look like. They're the same shape as tomato flowers. They're just white and much smaller. Again, related to tomatoes. It's a really interesting plant. These like full sun. They like moist or dry soil. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Very easy to grow. They'll reseed themselves. And again, they're native to the same continent, so in the same country even. And mostly what matters is the continent. Country doesn't really matter. You know, those are lines drawn by people. But continent, that matters because obviously, you know, that's a natural formation. And, you know, these ecosystems have been interacting with each other all over the continent. You know, Canada has been interacting with, you know, Minnesota, Michigan, and, you know, all the rest of the United States and other areas in North America. For millions of years, these ecosystems have been interacting with each other very closely. So generally moving something from the same continent to another area on the same continent, it's not going to be invasive because the ecosystem is so similar, and the insects and predators which eat it in its native range will just move usually to, if they aren't already there, to where the plant is now. Plus native ranges change naturally. So anyway, but yeah, it's a really interesting native plant, very fun to grow. Yeah, likes full sun, annual, related to tomatoes. Yeah, very fun plant to grow. Likes moist or dry soil. Does tolerate partial sun as well. Just won't get as big and do as well, but it will grow in partial sun. Yeah, pretty cool. They are also mildly frost tolerant, even though they grow very far south. At least this ecotype from Destin, Florida is, because they do occasionally get frost there. And so this has evolved to resist the very light frost. Any more than that and it'll kill it, but like 32 degrees and maybe like, you know, high 20s, like 29 degrees or whatever, might not kill this, but anything below that and it'll die. But it does seem to have a little bit of frost tolerance, at least from my experience, at least with this specific ecotype. Specifically ecotypes from the US where, you know, it gets colder in the winter, where it's subtropical or warm temperate, tend to be much hardier to cold. But yeah, these are very easy to grow, very fun, very interesting, and very beautiful. They can get much larger than this one right here. This year they haven't gotten super big, and that's just because there's a lot of weeds and stuff I had to pull out, and I was late pulling them out, and that's my fault. So they were competing, and so they stayed smaller and stuff. But if you're good at, you know, pulling out the weeds, and you let, you know, water these more and give them the good conditions that they need, these things can get maybe 3 or 4 feet tall sometimes. I've seen them get that tall before. So these things can get really big. So yeah. Also, the fruit have many seeds in them, so like I said, very easy to save seeds or for them to naturally reseed themselves. Birds love eating the fruits as well. Anyway, hope you guys got something out of that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah.